Hello, Planeswalkers. There's $6 more Magic the Gathering Arena. Oh, goodness me. I do, of course, hope that you go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. It's a good deal. It helps support the channel. Now, today, we're playing a deck that I lovingly called Gold. This is a treasure deck because many people have asked for it. Now, this is not the treasure deck that LVDs played with emergency powers. I do plan on doing that combo deck at some point, but I did want to, for a long time, play a more traditional, mid-rangey version of treasure that included Smothering Tithe. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say that, like yesterday's deck, this deck, for some reason, it hasn't been doing great for me. That said, it still did enough. It did well enough in ranked that I'm going to still do ranked. But you'll potentially see why exactly we tend to struggle. So we're running 3 Fountain of Renewals. This is kind of a staple in the jank decks that I play, and I think it's a meme with MTG original decks. He runs Fountain of Renewal like everything, so very helpful early on against aggro, where you can just start accruing some life, and it allows you to draw cards later game against control, as well as being just another artifact for something like Karn Strux. We are running 4 Moment of Craving. We weren't always. We are now. We need to deal with aggro constantly, so being able to just Moment of Craving something and gain some life is incredibly important. 4 treasure maps. It makes treasure and its scries. That's what you want. It makes treasure and scries. 2 Golden Demise. Once again, this is not something that I initially played, but for what it's worth, it is called Golden Demise, so works out. That said, again, the fact that this is 1 less than Kaya's Wrath means that sometimes that's the difference between dying and not dying. So Golden Demise is kind of needed in this crazy fast format right now. Mortify, it destroys creatures and enchantments. Bada bing, bada boom. It's really good at doing its job. It's able to get rid of a bunch of annoying creatures, as well as cough cough Wilderness Reclamation, which I don't see that often in best of 1. So 4 Smothering Tithes, kind of the reason we're playing this deck. We just accrue a bunch of treasure tokens over several turns, and then hopefully eventually win with our Revel in Riches. We're running 2 Vraska's Contempt because Planeswalkers are annoying, and I did like Havoc's Binding initially, but I had to take it out because I needed other creature-based removal, and Vraska also allows me to gain life, but it still does get rid of Planeswalkers, which is what I usually use Excellen's Binding for, so it works out. The life gain is kind of important. 3 Pirates Pillage. I found, initially I was just white-black, and you can probably see that with the design of the deck here, but I found that we needed more burst treasure removal. I did try to include Brass's Bounty as well, but again, I just had to keep cutting that stuff down in order to have better early game against a lot of the aggressive decks. So I ended up still using Pirates Pillage instead because of the fact that this does also technically draw you cards. Are we still running 23 or are we at 24? Okay, so we ran 23 for a bit, but we needed to switch back to 24 because sometimes we were just getting stuck on 3 or 4 lands, which was terrible. But if you are in a situation where you kind of have too many lands in your hand, you can go and pitch it for Pirate's Pillage to try and draw more cards. Kaya's Wrath, it's necessary. That's it. You have to have a 4-mana board wipe in this format. You just have to. If you're not playing an aggressive strategy, you need to be able to destroy the board. Preferably on turn 4. Karn, Scion of Urza. He works really well with our treasure that we're making. He allows us to draw cards and get some decent card advantage. So he's also another threat that distracts from our face. So that is another good reason to run Karn. 1 Cleansing Nova. We are running enough other board wipes that we don't really need too many Cleansing Novas, but the ability to just have that additional different removal that could theoretically, if we really need to, destroy artifacts and enchantments. As you can see, we are running a decent number of artifacts and enchantments, but if we really have to, we can go and get rid of artifacts and enchantments as well. But it is just a 1 of for right now, because that's all we kind of need. Revel in Riches. The way we win, it gives us an alternate win condition where at the beginning of our upkeep, if we control 10 or more treasures, we win the game. I believe that 2 games we won were because of Revel in Riches. Technically, our opponent conceded before we actually won, but still. There have been several games where I've been really close and just died. I think the majority of these losses, I was 1 turn away from winning, which makes me very sad. But that's why I decided to keep this in ranked instead of going into play, because it's really close. And then we're running an Immortal Sun because Planeswalkers, as I said, are super annoying. And as I said, we do need to just be able to draw more cards. This could be swapped out for Brass's Bounty, but I really valued the card draw a little bit more. I'd rather gain control of the board and then slowly work my way to a win. So we didn't have a great record. in practice today. This was also another day where I did a lot of practice, and I'm tired as hell. Because initially I was going to play a Sack and Steel deck that was requested a long time ago, that I'm still working the kinks out for. That deck didn't do great. This is a fine hand. We have early game and removal. Sure, we don't have any card draw, but this can turn into card draw if we really need it. And our opponent mulligan, so that's nice. We're going second, which I feel like we just go second constantly. We went first very few times in practice. Red, okay. We are going to... And this pays for itself in 2 turns. 1, 2... I mean, I guess we don't have anything necessarily next turn that we're going to use for this, but if we do draw something, I'd rather use it. So I'm just going to take the life and say, meh. Yeah, we did Sack and Steel, but Sack and Steel didn't do very well. And here I'll just not show them that I'm red yet. But with this deck, we went 3-6, 3 wins and 6 losses. Opponent missing land drops is nice for me. I could play them. I could play this untapped, or I could play a land untapped and try to get a Mortify, but I don't think it's necessary considering the fact that my opponent is struggling on lands. Very awkward. Pirate's Pillage is nice to see, but I don't really need to use it, so I'm just gonna play this and pass the turn. I don't want to get. If they're playing counterspells, I don't want to give them any sort of ability to use the counterspells, and I'm fine just slowly going through the game, getting stuff. I'd like to have a Smothering Tithe sooner rather than later. Lightning Strike on my face. I am fine with that. So I'm just gonna go as I usually do in order. My turn, sure, thank you. I mean, I guess I can just play Arch of Orazca, right? Because, I mean, at some point, that's going to... I'm going to get the City's Blessing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So only 3 cards away. So we have this. So only 2 cards away, technically. Right. That's another really awesome thing about this deck is... It does really well against other control decks, because the removal is wasted, right? Obviously, it's not great against control decks because the counterspells that they do have are going to be aimed at the few kind of things that we have. But overall, they're just going to have things like Lava Coil that do nothing against our deck. So we're going to go and just play this Godless Shrine. And then next turn, we're going to have an active Arch of Orazca. And this is one of the reasons you really want to be running Arch of Orazca in this style of deck. Because against control... I need to see if that's too loud. Is that too loud? I don't know what the heck is going on with my... Okay, that's fine. No, it doesn't look too loud. Hopefully not. OBS has an update, so it looks slightly different than it used to. But... So now with Arch of Orazca, we're not really worried about being behind or anything like that. Pass turn. Of course, our opponent could be playing like Niv Mizzet or something, and Niv... You know, they would get to draw a card from us removing it, but that's honestly not too bad. They're going to Chemsters, that's fine. So our first game with this deck was against what I called Sacdos Midrange. It was essentially a deck that used makeshift munitions and a bunch of creatures that were, like, got back or got value from being sacrificed. I did feel like I had too many lands in that game, which is why I cut down to 23 initially. And I knew there that I needed Burst Treasure. They almost killed me because of Angrath, and that's why I added more Planeswalker interaction. Do I need to do anything here? And I could Pirate's Pillage, but I don't think I need to. The problem is my opponent probably just has better things. Like, I assume they're playing like, Expansion Explosion, so I do need to find the cards I need sooner rather than later. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can still do that. So sure, let's... They're probably going to get use out of a counterspell, but I think I do need to just try and get something going. Did I really add more? Oh, that's why. Whoops. My bad. I think I'm just going to get rid of Moment of Craving. I don't see me needing it. I mean, they could counter it, and it would be like a 2-for-1 for them, but meh. Cool. Treasure map is nice to see. I'm going to combat just so I get a little bit more time. 1, 2, 3. No, I think I'm just going to end turn here. I could treasure map, like, first, but I don't think I need to. Another chemistry, sure. Resolve. The second game was against Merfolk. And Merfolk had a turn 3 enchantment that makes more Merfolk. I can't remember. I can see the art, can't remember the actual name. And I didn't draw a board wipe the entire game. This was, of course, before I added in the Golden Demises, so that's kind of why I added in the Golden Demises. But yeah, I didn't have a board wipe, and I died. A horrible, painful death. Play this, I guess. Play this, and this, and this. Can we counter this? No? Okay. So we're both just twiddling our thumbs here. Which I'm definitely in a dangerous position because of the fact that my opponent is probably better in the long game because they likely have a lot of counter spells to protect whatever their win condition is, which I assume is just Niv and Ral. So there's a Niv. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I think what I'm going to do here is attempt to Mortify because Contempt can deal with Ral. So I'm going to try to Mortify. They're going to draw cards, and if they do have a response to this, I do have another Mortify. I am slightly annoyed that my thing tapped like this, but I probably wouldn't want to delete my treasures at this point anyway. So does Mortify resolve? I'd be surprised if it did. Oh, okay. So that's very interesting. I'm very surprised by that. I want Smothering Tithe at this point in the game. Being able to get Smothering Tithe out early would be very helpful. Although they probably just have the ability to... Oh, okay. I see your game. Interesting. I don't want you. I don't need any more lands. This is why I cut down to 23 initially. Because it was very frustrating. And it's not a Smothering Tithe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can pay for Quench or Spell Pierce. They possibly have Disdainful Stroke. I feel like they would have saved their... I feel like they wouldn't have saved a negate, though. I'll go ahead and cast this. Yeah, I'll go ahead and cast this. This leaves me enough mana to still Contempt something. Once again, I should have tapped my lands first, but for some reason... For some weird reason, it highlighted not this, and then I still tapped it. I don't know. But yeah, Merfolk, once again, if I had a single board wipe, I would have been fine. Even, like, at the last turn, I had so much other value that it was, like, fine, but just didn't get it. Can I take a Smothering Tithe, please? No thanks. I don't need another Revel in Riches. Not a Smothering Tithe. Alright, we're gonna... Once again, we're gonna go through this. And we're tapping manually because the game hates us. Oops. I hate the game. I am a failure. Gotta go here and then do this. Which I'm sure everyone's yelling at me for. Ah! And we'll Pirate's Pillage and discard once again a Moment of Craving because we don't really need it because we have removal, 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 removal. I mean, do I just play the other Pirate's Pillage? No, I don't think so. Nah. Nah, I'd rather just hold up responses to things. It looks like our opponent is heavy on the creature control route. And that seems to be a bit of a problem for them, which is really nice. This is not, I mean, this style of deck is not a deck we've gone up against in practice, so I'm hoping that we're able to win against it. But anyway, got to double check that my internet is not completely broken. Appears like it might be, which is incredibly awkward. Nope, okay, we're good. Explosion me for 5, so you're going to draw 5 cards, but 5 damage is not a ton, thanks to my Fountain. So we're fine with that. I'm totally fine taking 5. I wish we had a freaking Smothering Tithe. Ooh, interesting. What are you doing here? 3, 6, 10. What are you doing for 10? You could Banefire me for 9 and then kill me next turn? That's a possibility. I mean, they shocked. They're doing something. Anyway, next game was against Mono Blue. And once again, I needed a board wipe. I stabilized really well in the early to mid game, but they were able to just slowly kill me because I just didn't get any more removal. And I was like, all right, well, I'm dead now. What is happening? My internet is fine. Double checking. Yep, my internet seems to be fine. Going to various websites. Cool. Banefire me for 9. Alright, this is frightening. Because I assume that means they're able to kill me next turn. Smothering Tithe is a few turns too late. I'm trying to think if there's anything in my deck that saves me here. We do have a Sanguine Sacrament in the sideboard because I thought it might be interesting. Didn't ever think I'd need to use it. I would need to draw exactly Karn, make a construct, double Moment of Craving it. So I think technically that's my out. Let's draw exactly Karn here. Not Karn. Real bad. Yeah, I mean we're dead unfortunately. Dang. Like I just spent a bunch of mana there. I absolutely could have a Pirates Pillaged first and seen if I'd drawn Karn. That was dumb. That was me giving up too soon. But we're absolutely dead here. Dang it. As I said, this deck always comes really close. I guess I misplayed that last turn. Because I haven't been through any of my Karns, right? No, I haven't been through any of my Karns. And yeah, I should have just cast Pirates Pillage to try and get Karn. So they would have been able to do 2 more. Right? So they would have been able to hit me, or 3 more, so they would have been able to hit me for 10 if I was able to get Karn down and Moment of Craving. See, so I used 10 mana, so I'm just going to let this resolve because I don't want to waste everyone else's time. I would have had 10 mana that I used there, plus 1, 2, 7 more. Yeah, there's like no way. If I was able to get Karn, I would have been able to gain 8 more life. Darn. Yeah, that was a dumb decision to essentially concede there. Yeah, that was not smart on my part. Oh, you know what? I was watching Merchant's recent video, and he it seemed like he did a Macho Man Randy Savage voice, and I kind of couldn't believe my ears. Now let me tell you something. The only one who's here to do the voices in their MTG content videos is me. Oh yeah, because I'm the cream of the crop. Merchant, let me tell you something right now, right here. If you do this again, I can't wait to see you in the ring. Because Macho Man Theorix 6, he doesn't play no games. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm crazy. Oh, that's hell in my throat. Ah. 'Cause you gotta get it all the way from down here. Oh yeah. Snap into a Slim Jim. Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm the cream of the crop, the #1 in all of WrestleMania. Let me tell you something, Hulkster. You get in that ring, you are never coming back out. Ooh, yeah. So I need to draw land. That would be helpful. A land would be very helpful. Rude, go away. Ow. Boy, I kept a 3-lander. No wins. Woo! The sadness is real. 'Cause I can't feel my face. I won't struggle alone in a world so cold where I don't draw lands. I'm not running away. I've been fighting for so long, so long. Such a price that we pay. You gotta be so strong. Yeah, no, yeah, cool. That's fine. That's great. I love it. I just wish I had a land last turn, and then a land this turn, and then I'd be able to like freaking cast cleansing of. Oh, cool, fine. Yeah, it's whatever. Fucking goddamn hate everything. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Okay. Once again, we're keeping a 3-land hand. If we don't draw a fucking 4th land, I'm going to be so angry. Let's see. I guess we'll go back to talking about the games from practice, because those were great. I went up against... I guess we'll do this, which is the smart thing to do. Went up against Gruul. I missed my land once. And I lost because I was one turn too slow for killing Domri. Don't you love it? I would have easily won that game. I destroyed everything else, but they were able to ultimate Domri. And when your opponent gets a 4/4 every turn, not much you can do about it. Then we beat Dinos because we had a ton of removal. And that was nice. So I assume our opponent is, like, playing some bullcrap. So this is mono blue. I don't know what they have. My guess is they only have, like, Tempest Gins. But my Smothering Tithe is probably going to get counterspelled, but, like, fuck it. It's better this gets countered than a removal spell. They might choose... yeah, they're countering it. Yeah, this is mono blue. I don't think they should have... Yeah, I'm not sure. So I think they're going to have Tempest Gin, and then they're going to try and protect it with a cast down. So I'm also going to play around Spell Pierce. So I could do this on their turn in order to tie up a little bit more of their mana. But I think it's correct to just do this. I assume it's dive down. So the following turn I can play Immortal Sun. Yep. The following turn I can play an Immortal Sun. Hopefully I start drawing some board wipes. Curious Obsession. That sucks. And now we're drawing too many lands. Did I draw anything else? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I've drawn nothing but lands. Are you serious? 1, 2, 3, 4. And I kept a 3-land hand. I've drawn nothing but lands. So I lost the game before that one. Because I couldn't draw more than 3 lands. Then I lost that game. Because I drew nothing but lands. Fuck off. Ugh. We can't keep this hand. We can keep this hand. I would like to draw some lands. But not only lands, please. Sure. You know what? I probably should have put that on the bottom. But luckily our opponent mulliganed down to 4 or 5. So maybe we'll be fine. And we can play Karn on curve. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll be okay. Sure. Anyway. After I beat Naya Dinos, I went against Mono Red. And I died on their 4th turn. They went first. I didn't get to take a 4th turn. So that's nice. That music got intense for a second. I mean, I think I just moment of... Yeah, I'll Moment of Craving this. They might have a spectacle spell. Alright, I mean, that's nice to see. Immortal Sun. I'll be able to potentially play that on turn 6. So I have this into this. So that's nice. I think. Of course, it feels really hollow, beating a person who mulled to 5. Although we mulled to 6, so... Do I want to Karn? Well, Karn diverts away from our face. I'll Karn. Could have treasure mapped, but I like Karn.
I am Karn. Say hello to my best friend.
I clicked over here, right? What the f... What? What? Are you kidding me?
I will be better prepared next time.
Then I lost a game to Gruul. Then I went against the Cavalcade Goblins. I almost won that match, except I died to a top-decked Cavalcade after I got rid of others of theirs and wiped their board like 2 or 3 times. Then I went against Boros, so that was nice. I'm a broken man. Yep, sure. I love you too, Arena. I love you too. Golden Demise. No, I want to land so I can play my Immortal Sun. I'm just gonna eat you again. Oh, I'm just gonna draw because I want a land. Cool. Oh, main phase. Cool. Yay! I got to play out the Immortal Sun. Awesome. Can you... Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. Hello? No, this is Patrick. Hello? No, this is Patrick. No, this is Patrick! I'm not a Krusty Krab. I am losing my mind, though. I am very, very rapidly losing my mind. Sure, pass the turn. I don't care. It's not like I got anything to lose. I'm just gonna take another drip of my freaking fruit punch and be sad about it. Whatever. No. Delicious. That was out of spite. I don't care. Do whatever. I'm gonna do one of these. Pass. Sure. Yep. There. Check my recording. See how long. Of course, it's been 30 minutes. I'm just lost like trash and gone insane. Everyone probably hating me because I'm losing my mind. Utter nonsense. Thank you. Alright, it is time to revel in some riches. Please and freaking thank you. I don't need this anymore. Main phase. Play this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Enters tapped, because I have enough mana for this crap. Cool. Pass turn. Hi kids, do you like violence? You want me to see me stick 6-inch nails for each one of my eyelids? I think it's 9-inch nails because it's a song or a band. Why didn't you play them before combat? What the fudge? Oh yay, Smothering Tithe. Yay. Treasure map. Smothering Tithe. Scree. Sure. I'm fairly certain we've won at this point, unless something goes really, really wrong. I don't even remotely care, because it gains me treasure. Well, we should win this game, so there's that. I realize that I'm just like looking off in like the distance. I'm so disappointed with the freaking mana, dude. Oh my gosh. That's ridiculous. Theater of Horrors. Cool, cool. Ah. Let us draw a card. And then, treasure map. Nah. Then draw a card. Ooh. Don't mind if I do. No, 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 no. I should have discarded that. That was my bad, guys. Can Moment of Craving something on their turn. Ow. We're gonna just Pirate's Pillage now. Why not? That's why not. Whatever, it's fine. It's the battle of the centuries. It's Rakdos versus Orzhov. Who will win? I don't know how to do cameras. Oh, please. I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. We could have cut ties with all the lies you've been living in. And... good game. Are you going to concede? Yay! I'm still sad. Oh, why? Why have you done this to me? Why? Why? I'm melting. This deck takes forever. Let's play another one. We're gonna regret it. But let's do it. Ooh, God, why? I can't keep this. Can keep this, though. Turn 2, turn 3. Turn 2, turn 3. Alright. We might actually be able to beat a aggro deck. That's why they call me Slim Shady. I'm back. I'm back. You never heard of a mind that's perverted as mine. You better Wait. Whoops. I don't know this thing. Get rid of that 9. It ain't gonna help. What is it gonna do against a man who strangles himself? I'm waiting for hell like hell. Should I make just as hell? Manson, you're safe in that shell. Play another creature. No, play another creature. Not Fanatical Firebrand. Play another real creature. Alright, well. At 15. Why did he play the Firebrand? Is he playing around Golden Demise? Maybe? It was 15. I'm greedy. This is probably it's. Oh, never mind. Everything's fine. So if we have to, we can play Moment of Craving. What's in their hand? Why would you not play another creature if you had it? Is it just burn? If it is burn, they'd burn me now. What is in their hand? War Boss? Sure, Daddy Warbucks. Yeah, that's a thing. Oh, is this just goblins? Oh. No! No! I forgot that you have to put a stop before combat. I always forget that the game doesn't stop before combat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go down to 10. I think that's fine. I can just Golden Demise next turn. I don't need to use the Moment of Craving at 10. 3 cards in it. Yeah, 10 should be fine. Once I hit around 9, I'm a little frightened. But this is okay, because we can... we don't need a Karn. Let me go ahead and play... Let me go ahead and play this. Let me go ahead and play this. And play Golden Demise. Thank you. Then we can do this. Play this tapped. Hold this up. Hold this up. Hold this up. Instigation. This way I can use Moment of Craving if I need it. Oh! And also that. So this is Goblin, so it's not real mono red, but I still count the win. Lightning Strike? Sure. I never knew I'd have a new house or a new car. A couple years ago, I was more poor than you are. Ain't got that bad of a mouth, do I? Can't say it, or else YouTube will tell me to go away. Eminem, not the best rapper to be singing. Technically better than some others, though. Am I seriously dead right now? So we're gonna mortify the fuck out of that. I also want to make sure I can get a card that potentially gains me more life, so I don't have to deal with this nonsense. We're tapping this, I think. Because we're going to be using mana. Revel Riches does not gain us life, as much as I want to keep it on top. Mortify is not terrible. Going to play this tapped. Going to... I hate you so much. If we start with one of these, blow that up. I'm at freaking 3. I would need to get exactly another Moment of Craving. I'm running 4, but still, that's not incredibly likely. I think I'm just going to hold the Mortify. Hopefully my opponent doesn't... I guess I could have drawn anyway. Oh, no, if I drew, then I wouldn't have the Mortify mana. Ooh. I think I have to kill that, honestly. Don't know why I did that. I totally forgot that Treasure Cove cannot produce any color mana. It produces colorless. What do you got? Firebrand, okay. Frightening. Still probably should have played that first, but who am I to judge? No, that doesn't really help me. Contempt also doesn't actually help me. Main phase. I would like to draw a card, please. Okay, we'll pass. We're functionally at 2 right now. So if our opponent attacks, Contempt does help. Sure, that's fine. They don't attack. So what they should do here is they should sacrifice their Firebrand to kill their own Tin Street Dodger. Because now I'm at 5. If they'd done that, they wouldn't have a clock per se, but I'd still be on 3. And I would still die to a top deck burn spell. See if we can draw anything to help us out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kai's Wrath is whatever. I think I'm going to try and not use my treasure as much and just use my Arch. Because I should still be able to play Moment of Craving if my opponent decides to attack in. If they decide not to, that's fine. 5. I mean, another Moment of Craving is nice and very improbable. Improbable. I don't know. Don't judge me. But it doesn't work with specifically Fanatical Firebrand, so I guess I'll still do this to see if I can draw something that's proactive. You guys might be saying, but Karn was proactive. You are correct. You are absolutely correct. Oh, you know what? I should actually talk about these while I can. For those curious, these little pins I have, these are the Guild Kit pins, except... Oh, fudge. So I assume they're going to attack with... No, that's actually good, because if they attack, then I can actually use Moment of Craving. Yes! This is actually good for me. Because I gain life. Sweet. Then I'll draw. But yeah, so I don't like the clasp that those came with. So... Sure. So I did, I went to Home Depot, and they just shaved it off. Let me see if I can make it so it's easier to see. There are still small nubs there. But those don't really matter for what I plan on doing. I prefer butterfly clasps. Where there's like just a big, like a spike essentially in the middle, and then you have to like, it's kind of like an earring back. I just prefer those a lot more to the like the paperclip, or not paperclip, the safety pin style of clasp that came with them. So it was free. You just go to Home Depot, and you're just like, hey, can you take this off? And they do. And all I need to do at this point is actually buy the clasps that I want to use. And I'm not sure if I want to use an epoxy or just super glue it, because I'm not going to be really making this like super rough. Like I'm not going to be putting on anything except like my clothes for D&D, right? So let's treasure map and say no to this. So I mean, we should have won this game, I think. It's just the case of actually winning the game. I should have done that, and I'm very sad that I didn't, but that's fine. Smothering Tithe. Right, cool. And we'll just pass the turn. Alright, let's see if our opponent wants to pay a bunch of mana. They don't. Ooh, CG Gang. Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. Gonna go ahead and kill that and gain some life. Sure, pass to attackers. And Scree first. Revel and Riches, don't mind if I do. Going to Contempt. Ooh, actually, I don't think I should, right? Because I can play both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, no, that's just actively dumb. Oh, I'm just gonna take my damn turn because it's stupid. So I just play main phase, play Revel and Riches, and then play Kaya's Wrath. Ooh, hell yeah, bud. And use treasure map. Cool. I have 9. If my opponent plays a creature that I can kill, then I win the game with Revel and Riches. Yep. Okay, let's see if they play a creature that I can murder. I can murder that. Don't concede, don't concede, don't concede, don't concede. Yes! We did it! That's right, I did it. Who do you think you are? I am. Oh, that took way too much out of me. Let's go to the decks and show you some of the cards that I chose not to use. Go over here into the sideboard. So we don't use Cry the Carnarium because Revel and Riches wants things to die. I've seen a couple people run Cry the Carnarium, and that's just incorrect. The value you get from exiling things is typically not more important than making sure you can actually win with Revel and Riches. So if your plan is win with Revel and Riches, you want to make sure you can maximize that. And for what it's worth, typically you're going to be using Cry the Carnarium for like early game, but you want the ability to have a late game burst of treasures. So Excellence Binding I kind of talked a little bit about, but I needed to find other room that is a little bit more suited for aggro. Mastermind's Acquisition. If you want, you could theoretically take this into a weird route where you have a bunch of cards on the sideboard, like Sanguine Sacrament, that you can just get with Mastermind's Acquisition, but I wasn't able to figure out how to make that work, so I didn't. But that is something that you can do. Ritual of Soot is not as good as Kai's Wrath in a deck that can play it. Trophy of Temptation is something that I was tempted, I'm dead inside, by, but it does nicely give you 1 treasure a turn for sure, but I wanted to play with the other one. So we did, and we had I don't actually know if I showed this, but we had way too many 4-drops, so I couldn't really justify playing more than just like Smothering Tithe. For what it does. Primal Amulet, it's interesting. You know, we do have a decent number of instant sorceries. Can I please? Thank you. You know, we do have a decent number, 18, but it's just not good enough for me to really decide to do that. If you ended up playing more Brass's Bounty, more things like Mastermind's Acquisition, then you can probably justify it, but I just wasn't able to. Brass's Bounty it's a really good card for getting you a large number of treasures at once, but it was a little bit too expensive because the meta is super fast. And Sanguine Sacrament, as I said, this is something that is interesting that you can use, but I just couldn't justify a slot for it as a one-of in a deck that doesn't like have Mastermind's Acquisition. So some other cards that you might want in the sideboard of a deck like this is, you know, the very obvious Eldest Reborns, Duresses, Cast Downs even, stuff like that, just to help you shore up matches against some things that you might end up seeing in a best of 3 format. But let us open a pack where we're just going to get gems. Yep, just gems. And then we're going to enter the end screen because it is incredibly late because I took way too long to try and get this straight. But, of course, I would love to thank my lovely patrons, especially Salamander and Croft, for their continued support. If you'd like to join them as supporting the channel, you'll find links to that down in the description below, along with links to the Discord server where you can chat. Hit me up with deck ideas that you'd really like to see, and etc., as well as my Aetherb account where I host all of my deck lists, and Tyler Walpole's art, because he is a cool Magic the Gathering artist who is doing the art for our D&D characters, for those of you who watch Guild Gates and Goblins, and he's a cool dude making cool stuff, so you should check out his stuff. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video in which I lost my mind. If you did, go ahead and tap that like button. Kazakhon to the comment section down below. Add a subscription to your Mana Pool. I know that's in the wrong order, but I've lost my mind. Don't judge me. And pass the turn and the video to some of your friends, and until next time, all will be one.